starts right now.
And good morning, and thanks so much for sticking around with us. Coming up in your 9 o'clock hour, and it's October the 10th.
That's right. So we're going to get to a lot right now. We have Ernie and Uvalde live. It's going to be, as we've been talking about, a bittersweet day as they open up a brand new elementary school there. Erica's standing by to give us the very latest on a high-profile court case, but
yes.
Weather.
Yeah, first we got to go look outside real quick with 70 degrees. And look, when I tell you, the sky was beautiful earlier. The sky is still gorgeous right now.
I was just going to ask, is it not beautiful anymore?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it was breathtaking because the sun was coming up. Now that the sun is up, look at it. Look what we're rocking with.
And that sun's going to be able to warm our air temperature just a little more. I mean, it's definitely cooler for most of us this morning, but it's still feeling a little warmer because of that humidity. But take a look at our actual air temperature. 73 degrees in San Antonio, 61 up in Fredericksburg, 68 in Rock Springs, 63 in Ozona. So the hill country is still sitting a few degrees cooler. But if you're going out to the Floresville Peanut Festival today and over the next few days, expect those clear skies, those dry roasted days, and those dry roasted peanuts. And on Sunday, we are expecting some slightly breezy winds to return to the forecast. But the good news is, like I mentioned, that low humidity is going to persist throughout the entire weekend until we get to Sunday night into Monday. That's when we're going to start to see that humidity really return to the forecast. And that is also due to some tropical moisture that could make its way to San Antonio, not bringing some rain with that moisture, but just that humidity itself. I'll break down what you need to know for your full weekend, plus what we're looking at in the tropics coming up in just a little bit.
Okay, thank you very much, Shelby, and I appreciate the puns there with the Peanut Festival in Floresville. Okay, a couple of different things right now. Traffic for the most part is okay, but we do have a major shutdown right now on the north side of town. I'm going to try and get TransGuide to give us that camera shot in just a bit, but all the westbound lanes of 410 at Harry Wurzbach are closed at the moment due to a major crash. So again, I'll make sure to kind of get our folks at TransGuide to help us out, give us a visual of that, but that's going to be over by Tobin Park, Northwood Park, Garner Middle School, that entire area. So we'll give you more updates as we get them. But again, 410 West, Harry Wurzbach shut down because of a major crash this morning. Okay, moving on to our top story this hour. It's a special day for the city of Uvalde and the families of the victims of the shooting at Robb Elementary School. The Uvalde CISD is cutting the ribbon on its new elementary school today that will honor the victims of that tragedy.
Our very own Ernie Zuniga has been out there all morning long. He actually had the opportunity to tour the campus yesterday, and now he's joining us live from Uvalde this morning. Ernie, again, how are things looking right now in the daylight, bringing it to everybody to see right here on the 9 o'clock show?
Yeah, guys, good morning. So we were able to come inside, and this was my tour guide yesterday, Tim Miller. We're reunited again, the executive director of the Uvalde CISD Moving Forward Foundation. And people have asked me already just a couple of times this morning, Tim, we've seen hugs and handshaking and everything, but how would you describe the temperature of the city right now, how this community is feeling on what has to be a bittersweet day here?
Bittersweet is definitely a good word to describe this, because this school would not be in existence were it not be the tragedy that happened in May of 2022. But since we started building the school last February, and then as soon as the girders were going up and people could actually see the school taking shape, I think this excitement started to build. And then as we started putting brick on the building and colors and driveways, it just built and built even more. We had the teachers come here last Friday. We had families of the victims and survivors and injured last night. And today we're celebrating the ribbon cutting. We, again, always want to keep in mind the 21 victims and those that survived or were injured, but it is a journey of healing, and this building will serve as a place for Uvalde to use and to enjoy for years to come.
I'm sensing the emotion in your voice right now. It's got to be a little overwhelming, because I know the planning for all this went into motion soon after the shooting happened. And when you think about the tens of millions of dollars that were raised and just the culmination of all of this and the generosity that came from all directions, it's got to be a little overwhelming. It
is. It's been a 3-year journey. We are so thankful for HEB and the Butt family for their $10 million initial gift. And then we finished it out with a gift of $15 million from the Cape Marmion Charitable Foundation. So many people in between, lots of partners, fantastic work of Huckabee Architects and Satterfield and Ponticus contractors. So it's just been a very much a team effort. And all along the way, input from Uvaldians, from the families to the community advisory committee, it's made it special.
So the ribbon is actually not too far behind you right now, and you'll cut that here in the 10 o'clock hour. And I think it's probably fitting that we close this out with a look as best as we can with the camera at this wonderful memorial oak tree. It's a 2-story tall tree. That is probably the biggest nod and tribute to the victims of Rob.
Correct. That idea came up early in the conversation with the families about what are some of the best ways to incorporate the memories of their children and their loved ones into this building. And so the tree not only symbolizes Uvalde in terms of Tree City, USA, but it also recognizes the 2 teachers with the 2 main limbs and the 19 smaller limbs, the children of the school.
Very good. Okay, well, I know you have work to do. You're going to lead another tour. Thank you once again, and congratulations, Tim.
Thank you, Ernie. Appreciate it. Thank you so
Very
much.
good. Tim Miller, the Executive Director of the Uvalde CISD Moving Forward Foundation. It's a heavy day here in Uvalde. You can feel that as some of the family members of the victims of Rob have made their way in here and have taken their seats. And we're expecting more dignitaries, the superintendent and other guests, invited guests will be here. We'll be streaming this ribbon cutting live, by the way, at 10 o'clock on all the platforms of KSAT 12, and we'll have more coverage throughout the day here from Uvalde. For now, that is the scene at Legacy Elementary. I'm Ernie Zuniga, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Ernie, thank you so much. We'll be checking in with you throughout the day. We got a big trial to talk about, and it's happening today, where we got 3 former San Antonio police officers being tried together in the death of Melissa Perez.
Perez was killed inside her apartment back in June of 2023. Erica Hernandez tells us how this case is going to look with 3 defendants and almost a dozen attorneys involved.
If earlier this week was any indication of the tension already taking place in this case,
you're supposed to tell us. It's impeaching. You didn't tell us that he was wrong. You didn't say he was wrong.
Hold on a second.
We are in for a very interesting trial that will focus a lot on the use of force by police officers. Back in June 2023, Melissa Perez was having what was called a mental health crisis when she was shot inside her apartment by former Sergeant Alfred Flores and former officers Elizar Alejandro and Nathaniel Villalobos.
There's a lot of people involved in this case. There are 3 prosecutors and up to 8 defense attorneys. Each defendant gets to present its own case, but being tried together could be a part of a joint strategy.
It might be advantageous to share the resources if they don't have conflict in their defense. There may be statements made by one or more of the defendants that would help another defendant, and you'd want to be able to have those be possibly admissible. And so that's much easier to have happen when they're tried together.
Former prosecutor, now defense attorney Meredith Chacon, has no involvement in this case, but she says beyond strategy, both sides have a difficult task with such a high-profile case.
Just the amount of evidence, I think, is the biggest complication for a case with that many people.
The trial is expected to last a couple weeks. If convicted, Flores and Alejandro, who are charged with murder, face up to life in prison, while Villalobos, who is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, faces up to 20 years in prison. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And actually, we do have the very own Erica Hernandez joining us this morning. Again, obviously, you've been covering this from start, and here we are at this point in this case. Tell us, how long did it take to seat the jury? Because we know this is going to be an extensive period.
It was an extremely long day for all involved yesterday. I know some had said they stayed there for about 15 hours. They didn't seat that jury till about 11 o'clock last night. Once they were seated, then they had to read them, the rules. And so I don't think a lot of people didn't get out of there till almost just right before midnight last night. So that's why there was a little delay in when time testimony would start today, just to give everybody a little breather before we start up today.
No, I remember you were messaging us, kind of giving us updates with that. So we see in that package there that ran earlier, the attorneys there are getting a little bit heated in the courtroom. What were some of those pretrial motions, and kind of give us a little bit of update on how all of that went?
So there was 2 big motions. There was a lot of motions, actually, but there's 2 key ones. One of them was if the defense was allowed to mention the dismissal of the civil case that these officers were facing. A federal judge last week dismissed that case, which is kind of huge because it's a lower standard to prove a civil course. And if one federal judge is already saying, they thought that they acted, they used proper force in this, how can you prove it at the criminal level? So, but the judge denied that. So they cannot mention that case at all in this trial. Now, the second key thing was the state's, a huge part of their case was them talking about the castle doctrine, which so for those who may not know, that gives you the right to protect yourself and your home if you feel like you're being attacked. But it doesn't apply for police officers. So they're trained that if they feel like a crime was already committed or that that person is a danger to themselves or others, they have the right to go onto that property. So the judge actually granted that motion for the defense. So the state cannot use the words. Now, they could dance around it maybe. I don't know how they're going to do this, but they cannot say castle doctrine as a part of their case. So it'll be interesting moving forward to see how this all kind of plays out and what the state will be presenting.
So, Erica, we see three former officers behind you. A lot of people are wondering, and the questions are out there, which again, we're taking the questions from you and getting the answers. Why is it just one person not looking at a murder charge?
Yeah, so we have former Sergeant Alfredo Flores and former Officer Elizar Alejandro. They are both charged with murder. Now, former Officer Nathaniel Villalobos is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That is because his bullets did not hit Melissa Pettis. Theirs did. So it's a second degree. So that's why if he gets found guilty, he faces 2 to 20, whereas if they get found guilty, it's 5 to 99 or life in prison. So there's a huge difference in the punishment range when it comes to those two different charges. But that is the biggest reason why he faces the lesser.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know there's a lot that goes into this and kind of a broader question about this involving obviously SAPD, but why is this trial just so important in your point of view?
For two reasons. One, obviously for the family of Melissa Pettis. They lost their mother. She had children, she had family. She did lose her life. So it is very important because a life was lost. So you want to see some accountability. We won't know exactly until all the facts are shown what role everybody played in this, but besides that, a life was still lost. Secondly, this could set precedent on how police, not just here in San Antonio, but all over the country, are trained. If they get found guilty, there's going to have to be some changes in how they approach cases like this in the future. So it sets a lot of precedent moving forward on how police officers just do their job.
All right, Erica. Well, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We know you got a lot of work to do in this particular case.
Yes.
Absolutely, Erica. And obviously, she's been covering this extensively for us, and we will stay on top of this. And we're also going to be streaming this live on all of our platforms. You can watch it, again, live on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, or also KSAT's YouTube page as well. Thank you again, Erica. Okay, let's get you to some of your other top stories this 9 o'clock hour. A student at Lee High School facing charges of possession of a stolen firearm and unlawfully carrying a weapon.
Yeah, this comes after the high school principal received that tip that the student may have had a gun. Well, 18-year-old student was then searched, and that's when they found the gun. Police discovered it at NEISD, and they found it in his backpack.
Now, it's not clear if the gun was loaded, and as you could imagine, parents were not happy to hear about that discovery. The school is reminding students to report anything suspicious that they see or hear.
A Northside ISD mom wants answers from school officials after she says that a student assaulted her son last month at Briscoe Middle School near Alamo Ranch.
Her name is Frances Cortez, and she tells us that her son was hospitalized for 2 days. The hospital discharge form says her son suffered a concussion, bruises, and an injury to his eye. That injury was so severe that the teen needs to get his prosthetic eye replaced, which is expected to cost thousands of dollars. While an investigation was done, she felt that there was no accountability on the district's end. We reached out to Northside ISD about what may have happened, and spokesperson Barry Perez told us that they could not comment on this case, but he did say that both kids allegedly fought one another and, quote, appropriate punishment, end quote, was given to the aggressor.
All right, we're now looking at 9/11 right now. 73 degrees outside and still ahead on GMSA at 9.
The price of silver hitting its highest level since 1980. We're going to give you a look at what those prices are and why this surge is taking place coming up after the break.
And we got great news here. Ceasefire between Israel and Hamas now in effect, and what this means for the remaining hostages, though. Welcome back. It is 9:16, and here's today's 9 at 9.
Let's start overseas. The Israeli Prime Minister's office says the government has approved the ceasefire resolution. This resolution includes the release of all living hostages as well as the remains of those who died. Now, with Israeli cabinet's approval, tens of thousands of people in central Gaza begin their journey to return home.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics calling for staff to come back to work, and they're preparing the Consumer Price Index report, a closely watched inflation gauge that impacts Social Security recipients. Now, the data will be published before November 1st because it's needed to calculate the 2026 Social Security payments.
And overnight this morning, the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize goes to Venezuela's opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. Machado is praised for promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela. The committee says Machado helped to achieve just and peaceful transitions from dictatorship to democracy.
Tesla under investigation again. Federal regulators are looking into the company's self-driving technology. The probe comes amid reports of Tesla's running red lights or driving on the wrong side of the road. It covers about 2.9 million vehicles.
And Sprouts Farmers Market is recalling its smoked mozzarella pasta salad this morning because it could be contaminated with listeria. The pasta salad was sold at the chain's deli service counter and its grab-and-go section between August 31st and October 7th. They have a use-by dates ranging from October 10th all the way to October 29th.
And the Halloween chocolate isn't cheap. Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute reporting cocoa costs have more than doubled since early 2024 due to some severe supply disruptions in West Africa caused by heavy rains and drought.
Spot silver prices hitting their highest level in more than 4 decades. The $51 per troy ounce represents the first time the metal has topped the $50 mark since 1980. It's a reflection of the surge of silver prices throughout the year, which are about 75% higher.
All right, Shelby, this is for you right here. Another day, another record broken by the one and only Taylor Swift. The single, The Fate of Ophelia, from her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, has broken Spotify's record for most streams in a single week. The record was previously held by the Miley Cyrus song, Flowers.
Okay, and this is for me here, or anyone that likes pizza. Domino's here launching a major makeover. Check that out, which includes a new logo, brighter colors, new uniforms even, and redesigned pizza boxes. This relaunch also comes with a brand new jingle performed by country artist Shaboos.
That's it. I'm breaking my diet today, all because of a color. I need it.
And I mean,
I like those boxes.
They are cute, right?
Jeff, you can go in the car and you can listen to The Life of a Showgirl on the way to go get pizza.
I will say, I can see the different sides of the argument showing the growth and happiness of what Taylor Swift is in that album. Again, I'm not a Swiftie fan. I don't really I don't get it. But again, respect to the girl for being as such a business mogul.
She's making moves.
It just makes me, I listen to it and it just makes me want to dance.
Me too.
Just have a little, it just makes my day happy, especially because you put that on the road, have the windows down. It's going to be a beautiful day. You get
that helps too.
You got a whole music video planned out. With
you get the best of both worlds, really. I mean, just take a look at outside in San Antonio right now. Clear blue skies, and throughout the next few hours, we're expecting our temperatures to continue to get on the warmer side, near 90 degrees and those mid 80 degrees between the lunchtime to the later lunchtime, and even this afternoon, about 93 is expected for our peak temperature in San Antonio. Not only that, some areas are still going to be in the 80s. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon. 85 degrees up in Rock Springs, 93 in LaGrange, 87 down in Corpus Christi. The sad news is we're not expecting any rain chances. We're still in that extreme to the exceptional drought for most of us here across South Central Texas. And the no rain chances really kind of put a bummer on the great weather we're going to be having, especially because, like I mentioned, we're still in that drought. But the good news is because we're not seeing any rain chances, we're really going to start to see some dry air come into South Texas. So we're going to lose the humidity just a little bit. Here's a look at that water vapor satellite. We're still seeing that dry air in areas of New Orleans, Memphis, even Atlanta. But what we're seeing is a little bit of that moisture moving all the way up from Tropical Storm Priscilla to Las Vegas, up to Denver, even Billings, Montana, as it meets with the moisture from a low pressure system over there. But you can see, and I really want to point out that ridge that's going over El Paso, Lubbock, even San Antonio here, and that's really allowing for us to see a little bit of that quieter weather. So like I mentioned, we have 2 tropical storms. We have Tropical Storm Priscilla just off the coast of Baja, California, producing 50-mile-an-hour winds. And then we have Tropical Storm Raymond, which is still a tropical storm producing about 60-mile-an-hour winds just off the coast of Mexico. But here's the thing, all of that moisture is going to get looped onto the north side of the high pressure system. So as it does that, it's going to feed in all that moisture just to the north. So portions of West Texas near El Paso, we're even going up to Lubbock and in the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas, could see some of this moisture, and it could provide some rain. But for us, some of that moisture could get looped back around into the underside of the high pressure, meeting with some Gulf moisture, but it isn't going to provide any rain chances for us. It's just going to return for that humidity as it's mixed with that low pressure system from the Pacific Northwest and near California. That's going to then follow in behind it, allowing for some to see some cooler temperatures, but not really expected for us in San Antonio. Over the next few days, we're still expecting temperatures to be waking up in the 60s, peak temperature in the low 90s, that low humidity for most of us as we continue to really see more of the same old, and otherwise really same old rinse and repeat weather forecast with the mostly clear skies as we head throughout the next 7 days.
Thank you so much. 922. Here we go. 73 degrees outside.
Okay, coming up in just a bit, the IRS is changing tax rules that could impact your return this year. And next, we're going to break down what you need to know in order for you to get the most relief.
And General Motors is dropping a plan to claim a federal tax credit for electric vehicles after lawmaker pushback. What this means for interested buyers.
926, let's get you to some consumer headlines here. General Motors this morning backing off of a plan to use its auto finance company to keep a federal tax credit for new electric vehicles alive now that the tax credit there has ended. A GM spokesperson says that they will not claim the $7,500 tax credit, even though they said they would last month.
The plan faced criticism from Republican lawmakers. GM customers will still get the $7,500 discount on the leases starting by the end of October, but GM will cover that incentive without using the tax credit.
Okay, the IRS is making changes that could affect your federal taxes this year and next. These updates come from inflation and a new tax law that was passed in July.
How it affects you depends on your deductions and taxable income, but tax experts say that many people may get some modest relief since the deductions help offset the inflation. For more details, obviously, we got all this stuff on our website. You can also go to irs.com.
All right, yes, time now, 9:27, and we're looking at 73 degrees outside. There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
San Antonio says that there is no plans to remove rainbow crosswalks despite Governor Abbott's order. What's happening around Texas and how the community is responding.
Everyone, right, GMSA at 9, learning and celebrating culture through music. More than a dozen student mariachi groups in San Antonio and the surrounding area will be commemorating Hispanic Heritage Month this Saturday, tomorrow, at the 16 Mariachi Festival.
So the festival has been hosted by the city's 16 September, right? I got it now. I'm getting it, y'all. Don't get mad at me, okay? September, commissioned for over 20 years. And as Stephanie Cerna reports, these students have been working hard for this showcase and are excited to carry on the traditional mariachi music.
In mariachi, it's violin, trumpet, vihuela, target, guitarrón, and of course the voice.
These 7th and 8th grade mariachi students at Mark Twain Dual Language Academy showcasing their talents with traditional mariachi music.
It makes me feel proud of my heritage. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something by contributing to my culture.
The Twain Mariachi Group is one of 15 school groups that will be performing at this year's 16 Mariachi Festival happening this weekend.
We normally get 5 middle school groups and 10 high school groups, and they get a donation of $500 to help them with their budgets. And we also feed the kids, so it's a lot of fun.
What does it mean to you to be a part of something that celebrates culture here?
Honestly, I'm really happy to be a part of that because most of my family they're mostly from Mexico. Not a lot of them were born here.
We have kids that are here from San Antonio that were born and raised here, and they're contributing to what the diversity that we have here in our campus. Mellow.
Mr. Solis tells us his students have been working hard ahead of the showcase, even practicing over the summer. So they're very proud to present that music now.
Mariachi is like food. And it's got to have flavor, tiene que tener sabor. And we're blessed here in San Antonio ISD that we are the mecca of mariachi.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
All right, love that right there. The AC6 the Mariachi Festival happening tomorrow at the Arneson River Theater right there at La Villita. This is taking place from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. and even better, admission is free to hear all of these amazing musicians.
I love that. You know, I love it when we do stories like that because really it actually does help me with my Spanish.
Yeah, there
and
you
people
go.
who don't know this by now, I'm a good Spanglish speaker, but when I can understand it, but sometimes it's cool big working alongside RJ and so many that can kind of bust out the words and help me.
You know, Jeff, I'm right there with you. But the good news is normally out and about when you're going out to these events, hopefully, traditionally, we would be at least a little cooler by this time of year. It's October. Bring on the fall conditions. I mean, just take a look at the temperatures this morning. 58 degrees up in Fredericksburg, 57 in Junction, a little warmer down closer to San Antonio near the city limits in the 60s and 70s as you get closer to the valley and the coast. Now, we're already sitting in the 70s already, 73 in San Antonio right now, and throughout the next few hours, we're expecting temperatures to continue to warm up in the mid 80s by lunchtime, at 93 degrees by the afternoon. That's our peak temperature, and then fully continuing to see those clear skies as we go throughout the evening hours. And it's going to be low humidity and a beautiful evening, so go out and enjoy it. And if you like today's temperatures, don't worry, we're going to see much more of it. We're sticking around to see those above average temperatures throughout the next 6 to 10 days and even the 14-day outlook for San Antonio. But I'll break down what you need to know about your weekend forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Shelby. Taking a quick look at some of our TransGuide traffic cameras, a shot there at Bulverde. No major issues for our drivers on the far north side. Want to remind everyone that we have cleared out that accident 410 West at Harry Wurzbach. So we are smooth sailing across the city of San Antonio. Make sure to stay safe on the roads and be careful with any of your weekend plans. Okay, our top story this half hour right here happening today. This is going to be a special day for the city of Uvalde as the Uvalde CISD is cutting the ribbon on its new elementary school that will honor the victims of Robb Elementary, of course, that school shooting.
And our Ernie Zuniga there this morning, again, still in Uvalde as we speak. Things are looking more packed. It was empty early when we came to you at the top of the 9, and now it feels like the room is filled up, Ernie.
And you can probably understand if I'm having a little difficulty hearing you guys right now. I'm being upstaged in a very beautiful way by the young man at the middle there singing. And as you said, Japhanie, this library are certainly filled up here. It's a combination of students. There's HEB executives here, family members, and I want to bring in one of them right now. This is Jesse Rizzo, who is a school board member in Uvalde CISD, but you're also the uncle of Jackie Casades, who of course lost her life at Robb. So first, I just want to know how you're doing today. And what you'd like our viewers to know about this school.
It's a lot of mixed emotions. It's heart-wrenching. We understand why the school was built, but we also understand the hope that's going to be there for the rest of the kids that go through these hallways. Knowing that the children, our children, will never walk the halls is going to be very difficult to process. But to no fault of the ones that will walk through here, so many unique opportunities that will be provided for them. So we have a lot of hope for generations that will follow.
I've noticed a lot of the family members of the victims are here, and I wonder, because you can speak to this, why is it important for you guys? It has to be difficult to be here. Why is it so important for you to be here today?
I spoke with a lot of them, and they described it as a bittersweet moment, and we have to support the people that donated. We have to support the people that built this thing, this school, this beautiful campus, and as hard as it is, we sit here with them as well. They've been with us from the beginning, and we're going to be with them, so that's why.
Yeah. One of those branches up there on the memorial tree belongs to Jackie, and there's so many, 21 of this and 21 of that. What do you think about I mean, it was a painstaking effort to make sure that Jackie and the other victims are remembered at this school every day.
I think it's important, as time goes by, things tend to fade a little bit. So we always want to make sure that we're never going to forget them. So that's really important. And I appreciate all the detail that was involved in all the different artifacts, different things that were done to this school.
Does today feel like another chapter in the long process of healing for Uvalde?
It is. It's a step in the right direction. It's, as I mentioned before, it's a bittersweet moment. But it's something that's important for the families, especially for the survivors. It's something that they can take and they can say, this was built with love and dedication and brick by brick that was laid on the ground. It was in memory of every single individual that didn't make it home that day. So, and the teachers as well. They sacrificed their life. They paid the ultimate price for that. And that was protecting the children that they loved, and that they were teachers of.
Indeed. Well, our hearts and thoughts are certainly with all of you today as the young kids continue with the music, everything. I know you're here, as I mentioned, as in your role as a family member, but also as a member of the Uvalde CISD School Board. So thank you so much for your time, and God bless you and your family.
You're welcome, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll let you get to your seat over there because they're about to start the ribbon cutting here at 10 o'clock. And again, this really filled up really, really fast. He talked about HEB, who came in with a $10 million donation, and some of their top executives in the entire company are here today, and other invited guests and dignitaries that will be speaking before they cut the ribbon, which is just beyond the kids there, and just a little while at 10 o'clock. Right now, a tour is finishing up, and then, as I mentioned earlier, after all of this is done, there'll be a reception, and then the process of moving the teachers and the students will begin. First day of classes here will be Monday, October 20th. That is all for now from Legacy Elementary in Uvalde. I'm Ernie Zuniga, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Ernie. It will be an emotional day there. Well, this morning, the city of San Antonio says it has no current plans to remove the rainbow crosswalks in the Pride Cultural Heritage District. Now, this comes after Governor Greg Abbott directed TxDOT to enforce the removal of all, quote, political ideologies from Texas streets, citing concerns that this might distract drivers.
Since the governor's directive came down, we've learned that Harris County leaders in Houston say that they plan to pave over a very similar intersection. LGBTQ plus rights activists held a community forum last night in San Antonio, and they say that protecting these crosswalks was one of their priorities.
It shows the struggle and how much we have put in to make this our own. It's a safe space for all of us.
We have not yet had a chance to talk directly to the governor since these directives came out, but a letter from the federal government indicates that this initiative is to keep intersections and crosswalks distraction-free. Well, her drive to win games is what helped her fight for her life. We're talking about a 15-year-old from Floresville who spent more than 2 years battling a rare blood cancer.
And this morning, we get to hear about her journey, and Daniela Ibata brings us that story.
I mean, I was here every weekend when it was soccer season.
On this Floresville field, 15-year-old Jalen Escobedo grew up practicing her kicks and passes. More than 2 years ago, a fast, aggressive, and rare cancer sidelined her soccer career. At 13 years old, doctors diagnosed Jalen with T-cell leukemia.
When you found that out, what was that like for you?
It was hard because I love the sport. I mean, I did get my lung punctured while I had my port placed. I had high methotrexate toxicities. My journey was pretty rough.
Her mom, Laura, went from cheering Jalen on at games to rallying for her recovery.
Yes, absolutely. And that's all I wanted to do was be there for her through all her appointments, through every infusion, every poke, and every tear that she shed.
And there were a lot, even now.
It's hard to look back as well because, I mean, I went through a lot.
It's why she's sharing her story at Blood Cancer United's Light the Night. Jalen, who is now in remission, is this year's honored hero.
So you're one of this year's honored heroes. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot because I get to share my story and I get to help others as well.
And like a good teammate, she wants to continue to help others.
And I want to be a nurse to someone like that who's going through cancer as well, as a child especially.
You get it.
I understand what they're going through. And I mean, I would love to help kids. That's my dream.
In Floresville, Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
And we're absolutely cheering for Jalen. Now, her mother says that they spent a lot of time going back and forth from Floresville to University Hospital for treatment. And she says that Blood Cancer United helped them out significantly by supporting them with a travel stipend.
Now, Light the Night happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. and this is taking place at the Rocket La Cantera. You've been hearing us talk about it all week long. That QR code on your screen is going to actually help you donate if you scan it right now. Admission is free, though, and registration open to all who wish to participate. Guys, stick around. We'll be right back. All right, let's start this thing up with our weather world. Obviously, you got a lot of weekend events going on. Need to figure out what's going on.
Including, I don't want to forget about this because we're going to have this on KSAT 12, but Texas, Oklahoma, the Red River game up there in Dallas. We know a lot of folks from the San Antonio area make that trip up there as well. So hopefully the weather's good, not only here, but across the state as well.
It shouldn't be too bad. I mean, most of the state is under that high pressure that we've been talking about the last few weeks. It's the only weather we've been really seeing over the last few weeks. So it shouldn't be too bad for this weekend. Still might be a little dry for some folks. And that's actually what I wanted to talk about is the fact that we're going to be so dry as we head into the weekend. Right now, though, at about 9:47, temperatures sitting in the 70s, a little cooler still in the hill country, 66 in Comfort. 73 reported at the San Antonio airport, 71 in Nixon, 76 in Uvalde. And throughout the rest of your afternoon, expect temperatures to still be on the warmer side, still see those sunny skies, still see a slight wind out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. But as we go throughout the weekend, the wind is also going to start to increase, especially on Sunday. And as we go through that, it could also spark a chance for some fire danger. It is a very small chance, nothing like what we saw back in March with the crabapple fire. This is not that bad, but we're still going to have some warm and very dry conditions as we go throughout the weekend, and especially on Sunday, with the wind gusts up to about 25 miles an hour. We are getting no relief with any sort of rain. These dry conditions are continuing to stay stagnant or get worse for some, and we quickly dried out. We have had so many days where we haven't received any rain, or we did receive rain and it just dried and went up into the soil or evaporated too quickly that we couldn't absorb the rain and go into the drought conditions. So that's why we are keeping an eye and keeping a watch for the fire danger as we go throughout the week. So we do have that low to moderate risk for San Antonio and getting into portions of the hill country. And as you go to the east, just near Gonzales County, all the way over to Houston, East Texas, near Beaumont, even near Conroe and Matagorda Bay, they do have a higher chance for some fire danger, still being that moderate. But as you go to the north and to the east, they do have that very high to extreme. That's today. Tomorrow, really not much of a difference, just that low to moderate category. And then Sunday, we still have that low to moderate category, but we're starting to see that high chance in areas just to the east of San Antonio along I-10. And that is expected to move closer to the city, so we're just keeping an eye on it. But still, some folks just in the hill country are still going to have that low chance because we're still going to see some sort of moisture in the area and in the atmosphere. So the chance is there, and we just want to make sure everyone's aware about it, especially because, like I mentioned, we're still in that drought. We're still in that exceptional and that extreme drought in Medina County and in portions of Bexar County, starting to see that severe move all the way up through I-35 and even I-10, but really not much of an important difference for San Antonio. And we do still have some burn bans in effect per the county record data and the Texas A&M Forest Service. Bexar County, Medina County, Kerr County, all the way to Hallettsville, Victoria, Corpus, West Texas, up to the Panhandle. Most of these places have the burn bans in effect because most of Texas in the north and to the west and to the south are so dry. So we'll continue to keep you posted with the latest, but otherwise low humidity this morning, giving us a beautiful weekend for us in South Central Texas, in the Alamo City, especially if you're going out and about for the different events. Most of Texas is expected to stay dry, but once again, the weather's always changing, so we'll continue to keep you posted on the KSAT Weather Authority app if anything changes at all.
All right, should be an amazing weekend across our area, though. Yes. Left.
All right. Also having an amazing weekend, day, you name it. It's always an amazing time when we go to our friends over there at SA Live.
Hey there, guys. You know what today is? The second Friday in October, which I didn't realize till this morning. It's National Haunted House Day.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, so we want to know, would you visit a haunted house, yay or nay? Just visit.
As long as they're not touching me, yeah, I'll go check it out. Don't put your hands on me though.
Shelby, go ahead.
I would say I would do like the normal haunted houses, like you go for like trips or whatever. An actual house that's haunted with like ghosts and everything, I'm a pass on.
Oh wait, okay, yeah, that's what I'm speaking of. Like, I'm with her.
Oh, like an actual where you go around.
Yeah. I'm thinking about
the ones you go around. I will.
The recreational one. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm actually staying at a haunted hotel during my upcoming vacation later on this month. So there we go. I think that answers the question. Maybe.
We'll see if you come back.
Oh, good Lord. Listen,
hopefully.
I will send you with my necklace.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. It was not my idea.
Where's the holy water?
Right.
All right, so scan that QR code, everybody, and weigh in. We'd love to see how that shakes down during the show. Thanks, guys. All right, Jada is getting all she can eat at East Blue Sushi. Hey there, Jada.
Yes, I sure am. I'm here at East Blue Sushi. They just opened up, and Ted, we got to get into this food here. It is going to be a fun time on the show. I'm trying every single thing here. The decor and the ambiance in here is gorgeous. I'm already planning my next girls' night because me and my girls love to get down on some sushi. Sushi, all you can eat, is even better. Later on in the show, you guys are going to see all of this. I'm going to be talking with the owner and the general manager about how they started and all that you can expect here. So don't go anywhere. See you guys soon. I'll toss it back to you now.
Thanks, Jada. Well, if you are ready to feel some fall vibes this weekend, we take you to New Braunfels for Texas Trippin'. And pick a pumpkin, pet a goat. Fall doesn't get any better than this, where you can have a fun autumn adventure for the whole family. But first, it's a family legacy in the wrestling world. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Roman Reigns, and now we talk with Zilla Fatu, cousin of The Rock, as he prepares for a show right here in South Texas. And it's National Pizza Month, and there's so many local spots ready to give you a slice of the action. We take you to a pizza joint putting a special focus on the ingredients. All right, we have all that and more on this fantastic Friday on SA Live in just a few.
So we talk about empty the shelters here. October's here, and you've teamed up with Bissell, and I'll get out of the way so we can kind of show you what's happening right now. This promotion is running now through the middle of the month.
Yes, we're very excited. Thanks to Bissell Pet Foundation, we have the empty the shelters going on right now. So every fee for every single pet is waived, so every pet is technically free right now until the 15th.
That includes cats too?
Yes, cats, kittens, puppies, adults, senior pets, whatever you're looking for, let us know and we'll do our best to find the best fit for you and your family. Right. But it is a great chance to bring a pet into your home, show them love and affection and attention, and be their forever companion.
I love it. This is probably a good reminder, since Black Widow obviously has a costume on, the fairy costume right now. This is the time of year, obviously, when a lot of people will consider dressing their dogs or their animals up for Halloween and everything. What is the Animal Defense League's guidance or best practices on as it relates to Halloween costumes and those kinds of things?
Yeah, I mean, making sure that it fits them, right, and that it's not constricting anything, and also making sure that they feel comfortable. If they don't want to be in the costume, don't put them in the costume.
You can tell pretty quickly, right, whether they're going to play ball with you or not.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, with Halloween coming up, there's a lot going on, a lot of people, coming to your door and whatnot. So if you know that your pet does not feel comfortable with that, put them in a room, put the TV on, some music on, something to kind of keep them busy.
Okay, make
so
sure
they're
the
not
Halloween
getting stressed
candy
out.
is kept away from the puppies.
For sure.
That's what I was going to say.
Can confirm I have dressed my cat up in her Halloween costume already. But over the next 7 days, we're not really feeling fall-like or October-like. Temperatures in the morning still sitting between 64 to 69 degrees. Afternoon temperatures between 91 to 93. Hopefully we start to see that first cool front arrive before Halloween, so kiddos don't have to be sweating through their Halloween costumes, at least for us in San Antonio. There's still hope. Normally we see our first cold front about mid-October.
Okay, what was the costume?
She has a Target shopping cart.
Wow.
I love that.
That's pretty cool.
Creativity. All right, guys, stick around because guess what? SA Live starts right now. Have a great weekend.
Celebrating San Antonio with the city's #1 lifestyle and variety show. This